Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a man is facing charges accused of attacking a woman with a gun and running her over. Plus, Victoria police need your help solving an early morning hit and run, what investigators know so far. And the Presidential Search Committee narrows down candidates for the Texas A&M Victoria, what the community wants in a leader.
Well, you probably felt the humidity out there today. It's going to be rising as we get closer to the weekend, and then we're going to get those hazy skies. We'll talk about it coming up in a moment.
And a 13-year-old spells his way to $50,000, how he plans to use his winnings. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. A Victoria man is facing aggravated assault charges after allegedly attacking a woman with a gun, then running her over with a vehicle. It happened last month in Pearland. The next day, 34-year-old Mark Anthony Guerrero was booked into the Brazoria County Jail. Since then, the Victoria County DA has moved to revoke his 2022 probated sentence for burglary. The victim, 21-year-old Cody Pogue, suffered several broken bones and spent 2 days in the hospital. A fundraiser to help with her medical bills is set for June 29th at the Salty Hef in Telferner. Coming up tonight at 10, you will hear from Pogue as she shares her story of survival and speaks out for women in abusive relationships. If you or someone you know needs help, contact Midcoast Family Services at 361-573-HELP. Victoria police are investigating a hit and run incident in the 1600 block of Edinburgh Street. It happened around 7:30 this morning. According to the initial investigation, a vehicle hit a pole and the driver left the scene without notifying authorities as required by law. This is an ongoing investigation and the VPD is following up on any leads. If you saw anything or anyone with information that might help, they're asked to contact Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. The search is officially on for the first president of Texas A&M University Victoria. A special committee is working to narrow down a list of candidates, and they will eventually recommend at least 3 names to the Board of Regents. The firm leading the search held a listening session so the community could share what they want in a leader. Those who attended said someone who knows Victoria, manages time well, and can truly connect with the community. The candidate search kicks off in mid-June, and the full transition to Texas A&M takes effect on September 1st. And here's today's viewer poll. What should be the top priority for the new Texas A&M Victoria president? Improving academics, strengthening community relationships, expanding campus facilities, or increasing student enrollment? We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And right now, 60% of voters feel that improving academics should be the new president's top priority. 34% increasing student enrollment. So again, continue voting. We'll have the latest look at the numbers on 25 News Now at 6. It is hot, humid, and those heat indices are pushing into the triple digits. Let's get a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. Mac?
Yes, it's going to be that kind of weekend where we're all lucky we have air conditioning. We had a few little pop-up showers today, very light, you can see them right there, and that's about over with. This afternoon, big storms firing way up in the Panhandle. As a matter of fact, they're under the threat of severe weather up there. We'll be talking about the heat and the humidity and, of course, the hazy skies. All that coming up in just a moment.
The husband of late actor Jonathan Joss believes his death was a hate crime. Joss was best known for his roles on King of the Hill and Parks and Recreation. He was shot and killed Sunday near his home in San Antonio. His husband says they had been harassed and targeted by a neighbor because of their same-sex relationship. Others in the area say there had been ongoing tension between the two. Joss's husband believes the shooting was planned and meant to send a message to the LGBTQ+ community.
Jonathan was murdered on not only the first day of Pride Month, but also the first day of Indigenous Peoples Month. Yes, we'd had problems with this neighbor for a long time, but why did he wait until this day specifically to kill Jonathan? What message was he trying to send to both of us or to the community?
Police say there is no evidence to support it was a hate crime. The suspect, Sigfredo Alvarez, who police say confessed to the shooting, was released on bond yesterday. Well, Texas lawmakers will not require private businesses to use E-Verify, despite GOP rhetoric citing concerns over labor and the economy. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit crossroadstoday.com. Graduation season is winding down, and we are celebrating the class of 2025 as they graduate right along with their family and friends. Congratulations to Ernest, who graduated from Victoria East High School. Mom, Dad, Elias, and Jocelyn say, "Congratulations, son. We are so proud of you. We look forward to your next chapter. Remember, the sky's the limit, and we're here to cheer you on." And congratulations to Caden, who also graduated from Victoria East High School. Your mom, sister, and brothers say, "We are so proud of you. You did it. Your dad would have been proud of you." And you have until June 13th to send in a photo and heartfelt message for your 2025 grad. We are featuring our grads on air and on social media. To send yours in, go to crossroadstoday.com, then click the entertainment tab, then click the contest tab. It was a hero's welcome at DFW Airport as 13-year-old Faison Zaki returned home a national champion. The Plano Middle School student won the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee by correctly spelling éclaircissement. I think that's how you say it. It's a French word. Zaki's been training for years, sometimes up to 8 hours a day. His parents say they're ready for him to finally take a break. But he won $50,000, and now he is planning to donate part of that to help kids in India. Incredible. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Once close allies, President Trump and Elon Musk are now at odds. What sparked the fallout and what's next? That's straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. Plus, the world's deadliest animal is out and hungry. What you need to know to protect yourself and your family. A major escalation in the growing divide between President Trump and Elon Musk. The world's richest man today says without him, Trump would have lost the election. Trump now threatening that he will end Musk's government contracts and subsidies, which are key to his business. Here's ABC's Perry Russum with the latest.
The once cozy relationship between President Trump and Elon Musk now ice cold and bitter. Musk posting on X today, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election," later writing, "Such ingratitude." It comes days after Musk left the administration and as he actively campaigns for Trump's big, beautiful bill to be killed.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore.
Musk has called the bill that's key to enacting Trump's agenda a disgusting abomination, arguing there are not enough cuts to federal spending.
I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate.
Musk responding in real time, posting online, "False. This bill was never shown to me even once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it."
Elon gave an incredible service. Nobody liked him.
The now fractured relationship appeared to be whole last Friday at Musk's send-off in the Oval Office. Musk leaving after being the driving force behind the Department of Government Efficiency.
And I'll continue to be visiting here and be a friend and advisor to the president.
Musk appeared to be one of Trump's closest allies, joining the president on his trip to the Middle East and attending cabinet meetings. Trump today says he believes Musk misses the White House.
People leave my administration and they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it.
On social media, Trump is threatening to end Musk's government contracts and subsidies. They are critical to his businesses. Trump says Musk is getting billions of dollars, saying that is the easiest way to save money. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
United Health Group is suing the U.S. edition of a British newspaper for defamation. The company says the paper knowingly published false information to take advantage of public interest after the December assassination of its CEO. An investigative piece claimed United Healthcare's parent company used cost-cutting tactics like paying nurses to reduce hospital transfers from nursing homes. The Guardian is pushing back hard, saying it stands by its independent, well-sourced reporting. They are a warm weather nuisance, and more than 200 types of mosquitoes live in the U.S. The CDC says about a dozen of those can spread dangerous germs, but you can't tell which ones just by looking. That's why it's key to protect yourself from all mosquito bites. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither shares how to stay safe this summer.
They're called the world's deadliest animal by the CDC. Mosquitoes kill more people than any other creature. And right now, these insects are out and they're hungry.
Mosquitoes need to blood feed to obtain proteins and nutrients necessary for egg production. And as such, they hunt humans.
Connor McMenamin with the Johns Hopkins Malaria Research Institute at Bloomberg School of Public Health says around the world, infected mosquitoes are responsible for around 700,000 deaths every year. The insects can spread diseases like West Nile virus, malaria, dengue, yellow fever, Zika, chikungunya, and lymphatic filariasis.
There's a lot of things we can do to stop mosquitoes biting us. The first thing is to protect our homes.
McMenamin says to use window screens, ceiling fans, and air conditioners also help make a home inhospitable for mosquitoes, and remove standing water sources around your yard. That's where the insects like to breed. Protecting yourself and your loved ones is also important.
Wearing a personal insect repellent, an EPA registered insect repellent, is important, as well as covering up when you're outdoors, particularly during times of day when mosquitoes like to bite, such as dusk.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
EPA registered insect repellents contain active ingredients like DEET, picaridin, and oil of lemon eucalyptus. The CDC says when used as directed, these insect repellents are proven safe and effective, even for pregnant and breastfeeding women. Nearly 2 million window air conditioners made by Medea are being recalled due to a mold issue. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says a drainage problem can lead to mold growth, and there have been over 150 reports so far, including 17 cases of people getting sick with respiratory issues or allergic reactions. The units were sold under brands like Medea, Frigidaire, and Insignia at stores like Costco, Home Depot, Best Buy, and online. Medea is offering free repairs or refunds for affected units. And General Motors is recalling more than 40,000 Cadillacs over a video display issue. GM says the video display on some 2023 and 2024 Lyriq models may go blank, causing the driver to lose their view of the speedometer, warning lights, and rear view camera. There are no reports of injuries or deaths related to the issue. Owners can get it fixed with an over-the-air software update or get the update at a dealership. GM plans to send notification letters to owners by mid-July.
Coming up, we'll be talking about the upcoming weather for your weekend. Yes, the word heat is in there. 91 right now. It feels like 100 because the heat index is going up. 92 is our high today, which is right at where we're supposed to be. Can you believe it? This is our June average temperature. We've been as warm as 100. Coming up, we'll be talking about not only the heat, humidity, but also the hazy skies that are going to be rolling into the crossroads. All that coming up in a moment. Well, good afternoon, everybody. We did have a few more little pop-up showers around the area, but they were very light. Some of you might have gotten your windshields dirty, and that's about it. We take a look at the bigger picture, and you can see how North Texas is under the gun for more stormy weather, especially out here in the Panhandle, where it's getting pretty nasty. In fact, while you can see this is the Doppler image, this is what's rolling around our area right now, even over by Wharton and in Houston. We'll go out west, and you can see, ooh, okay, this is a tornado watch for the Lubbock area, and you can see this monster storm that's just boiling up very rapidly in the afternoon heating, not only there to the northwest of Lubbock, but also here right along the I-10 corridor. Here is, well, let's see, Junction would be there, Sonora, Fort Stockton right about there. So Fort Stockton is getting some big stormy weather right now. Unfortunately, this is not coming in our area. In fact, for us, the pressure is going to be rising above us. So we're going to be squeezed a little bit as we get to the weekend. Today's heat index got up to 105, and as you can see here, we're expecting to get up to 110 on Sunday. So at that point, the afternoon hours, you really need to minimize any kind of strenuous activity. I know, pardon me, you're thinking, well, I can go out and tend to the flowers or something like that. Yes, you can, but if you don't get the fluids and you don't get a piece of shade, the sun is going to be very, very strong, and the ability to cool down in that is going to be very difficult. There you see our temperatures tonight still on the muggy side, 78 the low in Refugio, 77 for us. Tomorrow's highs, yes, again in the mid 90s, and then all of our western areas, as you can see here, 95, 96, 98, 99, you get the idea. If you go west, you'll certainly run into 100 degrees. Here is the Saharan dust that we've been tracking. It was over the Caribbean yesterday, but you can see how it's beginning to push into the Gulf of Mexico. Right there is the thin part. Obviously, this is thicker out here, but right about here. So beginning tomorrow, you're going to see kind of a brownish haze in the sky. It'll give you some very pretty sunsets, but for those of you that might have emphysema or some sort of breathing problems, you might feel that. That's what it'll be. Right now, the systems off the Florida coast and off the Caribbean have gone away for a while. What is going to be for sure, I believe this is going to be Barbara. Is it Barbara? Barbara should be the next storm in the Pacific, though. No, not a problem as far as we're concerned. Very high chance that it'll be developing. So for Port Lavaca tomorrow, we're looking for partly cloudy skies, a lot more sun, a lot more heat, getting up to 90 degrees, feeling like it'll be, about 105. And then in Cuero, you're getting up to about 93 as well. Lots of sun, pretty warm, get plenty of fluids, and don't overdo the middle of the day. So we're looking for the hazy skies on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then things loosen up. In other words, high pressure will turn into lower pressure, and that will open up the atmosphere and give us a good chance of getting some additional shower activity early next week. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. That is your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. If you scan that with your phone, you can put Crossroads Today right on your cell phone. And we'll toss it over to Shawna.
Still to come, a high-stakes meeting at the White House. What's next for U.S.-Germany relations and global tensions? All three major indexes closed in the red today. The Dow fell 108 points, the S&P 500 dropped 32 points, and the Nasdaq closed down 162 points. Oil is up 41 cents to $63.26 per barrel. Tesla stocks tanked in trading today. Shares for the EV giant dropped about 15% by mid-afternoon, wiping away about $150 billion from its market value. Analysts are tying the drop to the imploding relationship between Tesla's CEO Elon Musk and President Trump. The two have been attacking each other on social media recently, mostly about Trump's massive domestic policy bill. The U.S. trade deficit took a sharp drop in April. Today, the Commerce Department reported a 55% decline in the U.S. trade deficit, which calculates the difference between how much is spent on imports versus how much is made on exports. The report says the deficit fell to $61.6 billion. That's compared to $138 billion in March. Trade experts say the drop was the result of a slowdown in retailer buying after businesses rushed to stock up ahead of President Trump's tariffs. Newly elected German Chancellor visited the White House today for a sit-down meeting with President Donald Trump. The talks focused on several international issues, such as relations between the two countries, the Russia-Ukraine war, and the trade policy. Julia Benbrook has some of the key takeaways from the sit-down.
Although German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and President Donald Trump had spoken on the phone, this was the German Chancellor's first visit to the United States since he was elected to his position, and his first face-to-face meeting with Trump.
Well, I'm glad to meet because I've been dealing with the Chancellor, and he's a very good man to deal with. He's difficult, I would say. Can I say that? It's a positive. Go ahead. You wouldn't want me to say you're easy, right?
This sit-down comes a day after the United States doubled its tariff on steel and aluminum imports, and as negotiations on a potential trade deal with the European Union take place.
We'll have a good trade deal. I mean, I guess that will be mostly determined by the European Union, but you're a very big part of that, so you'll be involved.
The war in Ukraine is also top of mind, as Merz says EU leaders are trying to put pressure on Russian President Vladimir Putin.
America is again in a very strong position to do something on this war and ending this war. So let's talk about what we can do jointly, and we are ready to do what we can. And you know that we gave support to Ukraine, and that we are looking for more pressure on Russia. The European Union did.
Trump did speak on the phone with Putin this week. He said that the conversation was, quote, good, but it was not a conversation that would lead to immediate peace. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Manufacturing giant Procter & Gamble is announcing layoffs. The company said today it would cut 7,000 non-manufacturing jobs over the next 2 years. That's about 15% of its non-factory workforce. The company said it will scale back its number of products, but did not specify which products will be affected. The maker of consumer brands like Tide detergent and Pampers diapers had about 108,000 employees worldwide as of June 2024. And just a few months after filing for bankruptcy protection, Hooters has abruptly closed dozens of locations. In a statement, a company spokesperson says it closed certain company-owned locations to position the restaurant chain for the future. A specific list of locations was not released, but local reports indicate about 30 locations were shuttered in 7 states, including Florida, Texas, Michigan, and the Carolinas. The 42-year-old chain is best known for its T-shirt-clad all-female waitstaff. It filed for bankruptcy back in March. A surprise visitor causes quite a stir at a business. Wait until you see who showed up uninvited.
Tonight, the explosive turn. President Trump and Elon Musk feud. The president fires back. And Luigi Mangione charged with murdering the CEO. Now the turn. Was there once another intended target? World News Tonight with David Muir is the #1 newscast in America.
Take a look at this unusual break-in caught on camera. A hair salon and boutique in southeast Iowa is cleaning up after a deer crashed through the front window Tuesday morning. Keokuk police body cam video shows the deer running through the back of the store trying to jump out of a window after obviously it got in through the front window. Thankfully, officers were able to step in and use a pole to help free it. The deer was hurt, there it is, but not seriously, and the business opened later that day. So I'm sure, you know, the alarm goes off or whatever it may be, and you're like, oh, somebody broke in.
It was a deer.
It was a
well,
deer.
you know, there was a special on shampoos today, so
I guess so.
Trying to get in there and probably cool down a little bit. Anyway, folks, for us, it's going to be a hot, steamy weekend. Our heat index will continue rising, so if you thought the day was hot and steamy, it's going to be a little bit higher over the weekend. Temperatures will start pushing into the mid-90s, and the heat index will be up to 110 either on Sunday or Monday. So just you know, take it easy middle part of the day. Don't overdo it. You can, you know, cross the parking lot and go across the street, but heavy work, you know, strenuous work is like jogging or something like that would be difficult. And the guys working should be also very cautious because, you know, they got to be out there. So fluids and shade as best you can.
All right. I'm not sure if the clouds and the haze help or hurt with the heat index.
It's going to be dry.
All right. We'll see you back at 6.